today years old when I learned that the earth didn't break open and swallow you in.
Well, there are cracks that happen, fissures.
Well,
like
okay.
in the roads and things like that, but it won't swallow you.
I was gonna say, well, now earthquake, what do you call it? Freeway overpasses and all that. That's a different story.
Well, yeah, those can fall down.
That will actually break open.
Yeah.
And split apart like we saw in Northridge. Mm-hmm. But the ground itself, is not like going to have gaping holes that swallow people up, whatever. But yeah, the roads and things like that will break and all that because of the movement.
Got it.
But yeah.
All right.
So
it doesn't crack open like an egg.
Nope. Let's see. California will split from the United States and sink into the ocean. This is kind of a long, boring one. Let's just say that's a myth. And
we wouldn't sink. We'll just be an island.
So sorry, Texas. We're gonna still be here. Right. Suck it.
Yeah, exactly. We must have good buildings because we have good building codes. No. And they're simply saying, well, the building codes only reflect new buildings.
Right.
So if you have an older building, then it's going to reflect, older codes.
Like mine. My apartment building was built in 1906. Mm-hmm. And we have remodeling coming up finally next month. And so they've been digging out all the dirt from underneath our apartment. Our apartment is on sticks.
Plus, if the government says it's safe, ask somebody else.
Thank you. My apartment's on sticks, so that can't be true.
Okay. So the next one is the weather. Oh, this one I really get sick of hearing this one. The weather is hot and dry. You know what that means? Earthquake weather.
Oh my! I've heard that. That's just ridiculous. How is there earthquake weather?
There is no such thing as earthquake.
I don't know.
Weather.
We've been having earthquake weather, and then we had an earthquake. I don't know about number 7.
We've been having earthquake weather every year, like since I've been alive.
Well,
yeah, they say earthquakes actually start way, way beneath the surface of the earth, where it's not even affected by the weather. Like the earth is so deep that there's you can go so deep that it doesn't have anything to do with the
heating and the cooling.
Yeah,
right.
It's like no effect at all. So it's like that's a total myth. And it goes back to the other thing that we're saying about it happening early in the morning all the time. You remember the times when it is bad weather or certain type of weather, and you forget the times when it's not the type of weather that you think is earthquake weather. Therefore, it seems like to you that, okay, yeah, every time, there's an earthquake, it's this type of weather. Therefore, there's earthquake weather.
Well, I don't think that the weather causes the earthquake. I think that the weather is a sign that an earthquake is coming. So, however that, I don't know. However that works out.
No, that doesn't work either.
Well, I don't know. That's just how I feel.
That's how I feel, and you can't tell me different.
Nope.
That's what we call science. How you feel,
right? Exactly. That's hard science right there. Myth number 8: dogs and other animals know when an earthquake is coming.
That's a big fucking myth because Jack was losing his mind. He didn't know what to do.
Well, first of all, I haven't heard it the way that they're saying it. The way I heard it is not okay. The way they're saying it is like dogs and animals are like psychic or something. That's not the way I've heard it. The way I've heard it is that animals are more sensitive than we are as humans to certain. They have, their senses
to natural changes and
the vibrations and all that. Like when we feel the earthquake, that's not the beginning of it. You know what I mean? It's almost done by the time we feel it. It starts before that. Mm-mm. And so what my understanding is that animals, they feel those things, those beginnings before we do.
Yes, if you're a little tiny ant and the earth moves just a little tiny bit, you're going to feel that.
Yeah, so that's what the saying is and that I've heard.
I still believe that.
I do too. And I think they believe that too. They're just saying that.
Feel it. They can probably feel it, but I don't think they know when it's going to come. And Jack definitely didn't feel shit before me.
Right. They're not.
But I think that, yeah.
I think he did.
I don't think so. Because he was looking at me, looking at him, looking at me, looking at him.
So that's what you and Jack do at home? Y'all just sit there and have blinking contests?
That when the earthquake came. Is that you? No. Is that you? No. Shit.
I grew up in the Midwest. We didn't have earthquakes. Although there was one earthquake. The first earthquake I ever experienced was in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Another story. But we have had tornadoes all the time. And you could definitely tell animals knew when a tornado was coming because it was definitely a different. You couldn't hear a single insect or bird before a tornado comes. It gets deathly quiet.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. There's enough, and there's science to back that up too. So that's not just me being D. Johnson. I feel like animals know because I just feel that way.
Sound like it to me.
Number 9, earthquakes are becoming more frequent. Actually, the reverse is true. We were having basically an earthquake drought until these two here.
Yeah, that's why everybody thought it was going to be such a big one.
So, and like I said, the big ones, the big 7s and above, happen pretty much every 20 years, which this one is on pace for. The other ones, the other ones usually happen more frequently, and we haven't had them as much lately. So,
you know what kind I like? I like those rolling kind. Because there are different kinds of earthquakes. If you've never been in an earthquake before, there's different kinds of earthquakes. There's some that just sort of shake your building, and then some that just feel like maybe a big heavy truck is going by your house.
Yeah.
And then there's some that feels like you on a massage, like one of those shiatsu machines. Mm-hmm. It just sort of rolls. The ground rolls underneath you.
I think some of that has to do with the building that you're in.
Whatever. I love it when it rolls.
I think because there are certain buildings that have like these roller type
Oh, right.
And I think those are the ones where you feel that like I don't think it's the earthquake so much itself that's different. I think rather the building that you're in makes the experience different. Is what I think.
All right. Well, I got to find a rolling building because I feel that's like being on the washer machine for a woman.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it, Dijon? You would know. You are a resident appliance. I know you like dryers typically, but I have to believe
like you keep on putting me back on these washing machines.
Okay, wait. So you've never sat? Okay, you've only sat on dryers. You've never sat on a washing machine. Come on now. Come on. I'm supposed to believe that.
That's like me saying, Dino, you've never sat on a washer or dryer?
But I haven't sat on either.
So what do you? So
I have. I'm not gonna lie.
So
for pleasure, I've sat on machines.
Yeah, no, I mean, not for pleasure. I've never sat on either.
That's why I sit in the back of the bus over the wheel.
I don't sit on washing dryers for pleasure.
I do. I would. I do know you have a whole laundry series on Instagram, though.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the joke, Dijon. That's the joke. It's about all your Instagram posts. That's what it's about. I don't literally think that you.
She actually is posing with laundry.
Do I have to explain the joke? Like,
oh my gosh.
So number 10.
What's this?
Oh,
why is there shade?
I don't know.
She not feeling that,
Okay, well, I mean, I feel like you put 1,000 posts of you on washers or dryers or whatever on Instagram. I'm allowed to like make a joke about it. So
okay, you did.
Why? We can't predict earthquakes. I didn't even know. Who thought that? I never heard that myth. Who thought that?
I don't know.
I've never heard that.
Because if that was the case, we'd have a report.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Please tell me so I can have some clothes on next time.
I'm not even going to address that. We know that that's a myth. Like I don't know anybody who thought that was true. Or
yes.
I never even heard that myth before.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
These are the same people that think Jesus is coming back on August 22nd, 2021.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, those people.
Those same ones. We cannot predict earthquakes.
So while we're talking about weather, we have some more weather news going on here. Summer hailstorm, a summer hailstorm in Guadalajara, Mexico, buries cars and damages houses.
Wow.
There are reports that the snow is like 3 feet. And I think looking from the pictures and the videos that I've seen, that 3 feet is conservative.
I would agree. I saw those photos too.
Very conservative.
And not just snow, hail.
Yes.
Hail.
Ice. Straight up ice.
Yes.
Like 3 feet of ice from the sky.
Yes, and if it's burying a car, I think that's more than 3 feet. So
yeah, these pictures. I'm going to go ahead. You know what, chat? I'm going to post this in the chat, this link, so you guys can check it out and see it if you would like to see what we're speaking about.
Yes. Everybody that's listening, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We post all of our stories there so you guys can see them and check them out. And yeah, read the full stories on our
We
page.
post it on the chat right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
in
now
the chat
posted
right now too.
Yes, so just now posted, and you guys can see this here is it's wow. It's up to there's an SUV here, and it's
Right.
up to the windows on the SUV.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't even get it in the door.
No, you cannot. And so 3 feet is very conservative.
And that's hail.
Straight
That's
up
not even
ice.
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah, like you can make snowmen. Like you could totally. And this is in Mexico.
And just
What?
the summer. And this is summer.
In the
hailstorm.
summer in Mexico, it's crazy.
There is good news though.
What's the good news?
Didn't it all melted in a day?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, that's good.
yeah. That is good. It did, but it also caused flooding as well.
Good news, can't win.
Can't
Can't
win.
win.
It melted fast because it wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. But then it also caused some flooding.
Wow.
So
Because it wasn't like 80 degrees or something like that in the afternoon. Like, oh, just another day in
It's
Mexico.
another summer day.
that's so crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was like some miracle type stuff.
Man.
Miracle or like curse.
Okay.
Plagues.
Curse is just nothing but a bad miracle. That's all it is.
It's a plague.
A miracle in reverse.
Yeah, it's just a bad miracle. That's all. A miracle
Oh,
that you don't
wow.
like.
That's funny. That'd be
they-
something you see on Sabrina, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Is Guadalajara a third world country? Do they need like water
No.
and stuff? No. Well, then it really doesn't. Then they fuck then. I was like, maybe they could use the water. You know, now they'll have more water if they were in a drought or something like us, because we need water. But
No, Guadalajara is like a tourist destination.
we'll see. Well, shit. No upside to that one.
Celebrities. So, y'all's boy Jason Mitchell was back in the news.
Man, he make it so hard to root for him.
Finesse.
Yeah, he does. That is very true. I couldn't agree with that statement more. So, Jason Mitchell is, you know what? I've discovered that the chat is unable to hear our roll-ins and clips.
Oh.
So, I'm going to try to limit those until I can find out exactly what's going on and why that is. So, this video, the audio from the video that I would normally play, I'm not going to play. But all it is Jason Mitchell hurling a bunch of profanities at a passenger on the plane. And it's because I don't know exactly what it is. What set him off is that he had a first class ticket.
Mhm.
For some reason, he doesn't get to sit in first class, so he's already angry, and the person who's sitting in front of him, I guess, gets into his conversation. I don't know if he's just looking or he actually speaks, because by the time the person starts recording, the altercation is already in the middle.
Mhm.
So I don't know what exactly precipitated it, but he just keeps telling him, turn the fuck around, and just like drops a lot of F-bombs and says, calls him pussy, and that he threatens to whip. Basically, he's playing Eazy-E all over again.
Oh, wow.
He's like,
Wow.
He's like, art imitates life, and he went Eazy-E on this passenger. Because I don't know Jason Mitchell to be a tough guy.
Me
You
either.
know,
No, you don't look tough.
I don't think
No.
he's a tough guy. But yeah, he slipped right into that Eazy-E character real quick. And with this harmless looking, people do that. People will break bad with somebody who looks harmless,
Yeah.
like in a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Easy.
somebody, yeah,
Easy.
right.
Yeah, but speaking of easy, I think it's also easy to sort of like tear him down because we didn't see the beginning of the video, and I'm putting myself in the position of somebody that's been bumped from my first class seat to the regular section, the economy,
yeah.
and
I
whatever
forgot
has
about
happened
that.
between that, because that wasn't, he didn't just go like, okay, mistakes happen, and then sit down. No, it was probably 20, 30 minutes of him at the gate going like, no, this is messed up. Y'all got to do something about this. This is messed up. And then he realized, well, I got to get on this plane. I got to get in the economy. So he, like you said, he was already mad probably coming into all this.
Yeah.
And who knows, this also could have been that same passenger, could have been that person that y'all ever
That
waited
one.
in the waiting room and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get on the plane and get away from this family.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't wait to get away. And then they end up being the one sitting right by
No,
you.
I get it. I get it,
Right.
Pip, and I hear you. And I basically did that. And even in doing that, putting myself in, I feel like he was a bit excessive. And I feel like had that person been, I don't know, 50
Right.
Cent.
Let's say The Rock.
If that was 50 Cent or The Rock or somebody like that, I don't think he would have reacted the same way.